International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition. 23rd August. Kindly note that this is an awareness video only. Viewers are advised to verify the contents before using this information anywhere else. United Nations observes August 23 as International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition to commemorate the uprising on 23rd August 1791 in Santo Domingo. Today it is called Haiti and the Dominican Republic against transatlantic slave trade. Among the major crimes that have marked human history, the slave trade and slavery are distinguished by their magnitude, their duration, and the violence that accompanied them. It is difficult to understand how a tragedy of this scale could have been ignored for so long. Historians estimate that 30 million Africans were deported from different parts of Africa and enslaved in other regions of the world. If we add the number of those who died during capture, the arduous journey towards the various ports, the holding camps, and the Middle Passage, there were in fact nearly 100 million of lives that were taken from Africa. The vast majority of those who were enslaved and transported in the transatlantic slave trade were people from Central and West Africa who had been sold by other West Africans or by half European merchant princes to Western European slave traders who brought them to the Americas. The South Atlantic and Caribbean economies were particularly dependent on labor for the production of sugarcane and other commodities. This was viewed as crucial by those Western European states which in the late 17th and 18th centuries were vying with each other to create overseas empires. The Portuguese in the 16th century were the first to engage in the Atlantic slave trade. In 1526, they completed the first transatlantic slave voyage to Brazil, and other Europeans soon followed. Ship owners regarded the slaves as cargo to be transported to the Americas as quickly and cheaply as possible. They are to be sold to work on coffee, tobacco, cocoa, sugar, and cotton plantations, gold and silver mines, rice fields, the construction industry, cutting timber for ships in skilled labor, and as domestic servants. The first Africans kidnapped in the English colonies were classified as indentured servants. However, by the middle of the 17th century, slavery had hardened as a racial caste, with African slaves and their future offspring being legally the property of their owners, as children born to slave mothers were also slaves. As property, the people were considered merchandise or units of labor and were sold at markets with other goods and services. The major Atlantic slave trading nations ordered by trade volume were the Portuguese, the British, the Spanish, the French, the Dutch empires, and the Danish. Several had established outposts on the African coast where they purchased slaves from local African leaders. These slaves were managed by a factor who was established on or near the coast to expedite the shipping of slaves to the New World. Slaves were imprisoned in a factory while awaiting shipment. In 19th century it was banned, albeit present-day forms of enslavement continues to affect millions of people, particularly women and children. Regularly, we hear the news of modern-day slavery from different parts of the world. We all must respect the rights of fellow humans and treat them with dignity. If you like this video and want to view more such useful videos, kindly subscribe to my channel.